Okay, getting ready for a big interview, it can feel a little like trying to solve a puzzle. You know what I mean?
It really can, kind of like navigating a maze.
Exactly. Practice makes perfect, though, right? That's what everyone always says. So think of this deep dive, like a practice run for your interview for that legal administrative assistant position.
Yeah, like a mock interview to get you prepared and ready to go. We'll go over some typical interview questions, how to think about answering them, and we might even toss in some you won't expect.
I like it. And we'll be pulling some inside advice from RoleCatcher's Career Guide, too. So let's jump right in. Let's say you're in the interview and you get asked, how did you first become interested in being a legal administrative assistant? What's your first thought?
It's more than just saying, oh, I'm organized or I like legal dramas. It's about telling a story.
Right.
Like you're connecting on a personal level with the interviewer, like that line from the career guide, about how it combines administrative skills with the intricacies of the legal world.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe you love the thought of a fast-paced environment or being a vital part of a legal team, things like that.
Right, showing you're looking for a career, not just a job. What about when they follow up with, can you tell me about a time your organizational skills were really tested? Like, how do you even start with that?
The classic, tell me about a time question, you know those. This is where that STAR method is so useful.
Right.
You're setting the scene for them, a specific situation where your organizational skills really made a difference.
And if you're struggling to come up with good examples, RoleCatcher's interview prep tool is amazing. I mean, they've got a huge database of actual interview questions, and it even gives you feedback on your answers.
It's like having your own personal interview coach.
Right.
Right. You can practice your answers beforehand and get feedback. No need to be caught off guard in the real interview.
Exactly. Okay, let's say they change gears and ask, what experience do you have with legal research and document preparation? Where do you start with that one?
Think about your past jobs. Even if they weren't specifically legal jobs, think about what you did. Did you handle databases or organize files, prepare reports, that kind of thing? Because those are all valuable skills.
Right. It's all relevant.
You just connect the dots for them.
So you're highlighting those skills rather than just listing tasks, showing them you'd be great in this role.
Exactly. It shows you understand the core responsibilities of a legal administrative assistant.
Okay, so here's a really interesting one. How do you prioritize tasks and manage your workload? Especially in a law firm where things move so fast, it's like juggling a million things at once sometimes.
And the career guide mentions that too, about law firms being a fast-paced environment and needing to be organized. So you need to show off your systems and strategies.
Right, so like if you use time blocking or a digital project management app, talk about those. Be specific.
Be specific. Show them you're not just organized. You're on top of your game.
Love it. Now, this question is so important for legal work. How do you handle confidential or sensitive information?
Confidentiality is key in this field. It's critical. And the career guide talks about dealing with sensitive cases. You want to show you understand the ethical rules.
Yeah, it's a big
Be
deal.
like, have you signed NDAs before? Are you familiar with data protection regulations? This is the time to mention them.
It's not enough to just say, I'm trustworthy. You need to show you understand how important confidentiality is in the legal world.
For sure. Okay, how about this one? This often throws people off. How do you handle difficult or upset clients?
Ooh, that's a good one. Everyone's been there, though, right? When you're dealing with someone who's really pushing your buttons and you have to keep your cool.
Oh, absolutely. You've got to stay professional. And the typical interactions section of the career guide, that's really relevant here, they emphasize how important strong interpersonal skills are.
It's true. It's true. And it makes sense.
So important.
It's showing empathy, patience, and knowing how to de-escalate a situation. Think of a time when you successfully handled a tough interpersonal situation. Like maybe you calmed down an angry customer or helped settle a disagreement between coworkers.
Exactly. And it's not just about dealing with clients. It's about staying calm and professional under pressure, which is a must for a legal administrative assistant. It's like, stay cool as a cucumber. Even when it feels stressful, you're the calm one in the room.
Right, exactly. Okay, changing gears a little, let's talk about writing skills. A big part of being a legal administrative assistant is handling legal correspondence, all those documents. So that's something they'll want to know about. Let's say they ask, what experience do you have with drafting legal correspondence and documents? What then?
Now's the time to show off those wordsmithing skills, especially in a legal setting. The career guide really highlights writing, native language skills, and knowing legal terminology and procedural law.
Okay, so let's break that down a bit. What does that actually mean for someone who's pretty new to the legal field?
It comes down to showing you can write clearly, get to the point, and be accurate. And use the right legal terms. Like if you've written contracts, agreements, even just professional emails in a past job, that all counts.
What if you haven't done much legal writing before, though?
It's fine. You can highlight how you're ready to learn new things and adapt. Like, mention you're familiar with legal dictionaries or online resources for legal writing. Showing initiative, that's what matters. Being ready to master it.
Like saying, I'm ready to jump in and I'm eager to become an expert.
Exactly. Okay, this question is popping up more and more in interviews. How do you stay up to date on changes in laws and regulations? Because law is always changing, you have to keep learning.
It's like technology that way, right?
Yeah.
Always something new. So how can someone do that, stay current in law?
There are tons of ways. The career guide talks about keeping up with industry trends, and it's true. You could subscribe to legal journals, blogs, attend conferences, even follow legal experts on social media.
Like you're building your own legal education.
Exactly.
And speaking of keeping ahead, RoleCatcher has that cool career compass feature.
Oh, Career Compass is great. Like having a career counselor right there in your pocket helps you figure out career goals and suggest different paths based on your skills and what you like.
It even gives you an idea about salary ranges, what skills are in demand, even potential jobs. Super helpful.
Really takes out the guesswork.
For sure. Okay, back to the interview. Tough question. How do you handle competing priorities and deadlines? Feels like that's universal for any admin role.
Oh, tell me about it. It's about showing those organizational skills we were talking about.
Right, right. So how do you even start answering that in an interview?
Structure. That's key. Think of a time you juggled multiple projects or tasks with deadlines. Then walk them through it. Did you make a to-do list, prioritize things? Did you use any time management tools? Did you keep people in the loop, communicate?
So showing you can handle stress, stay organized, even when things get hectic.
Exactly. And it's okay to talk about a time when maybe it didn't go perfectly. We all make mistakes. It's how you learn from them that's important.
If there's a time you had a tough situation with deadlines or priorities, talk about it, but focus on what you learned, how you adjusted.
Exactly. Show you're not afraid of challenges and you're always learning and improving. Okay, how about this one? It often trips people up. How do you handle complex legal documents or contracts?
They can feel intimidating,
Yeah.
especially for someone who's new to law. What would you advise someone to do with that question?
First, don't panic. You don't have to know every legal term off the top of your head. It's more about showing that you're meticulous, detail-oriented, that you can handle complex information.
Right, those problem-solving skills.
Yes. Think about a time to go through a really dense document or report. How did you do it? Break it down into sections, highlight important things, look up anything you didn't understand.
Convincing them you have a way to handle complexity.
Yeah.
You're not afraid of the work.
Exactly. The career guide mentions reading comprehension, and law and government knowledge are important, and that's why.
Connecting the dots, showing you've got what it takes.
And here's a tip. Don't be afraid to ask for clarification. If they give you a complex document in the interview and something's not clear, it's fine to ask. It shows you're paying attention to detail.
Like you're saying, I want to make sure I understand, not just skim over things.
Exactly. You know, complex legal documents always make me crave a strong cup of coffee. Maybe save it for after the interview, though.
Huh, for sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of details, what about when they ask, how do you ensure that legal documents and correspondence are accurate and error-free?
Time to channel your inner proofreading ninja.
Love it.
No, but really, accuracy is everything in law. Even a small mistake can be a big problem. This is where you describe your super thorough proofreading process. Do you have a system? Do you use any special tools or techniques?
Like a grammar checker, or even reading aloud. I find I catch more errors that way.
Absolutely. Those are all good strategies. You're showing them you're not just glancing over things. You're really focused on accuracy.
And that links back to those core skills. The career guide talks about native language skills and strong writing skills.
Exactly. You're showing you're not sending out just any old email. You're sending polished, professional communication. And you know what else can really help with that? RoleCatcher's CV Resume Builder.
Oh, definitely. That tool is so useful.
It's fantastic. It uses AI to analyze your resume, looking for mistakes, and then suggests ways to make it better. Plus, it tailors your resume to match job descriptions. That's huge for getting past those online systems companies use.
Like having a personal resume expert available 24/7.
Yeah.
When I used it, I was shocked at how much it improved my resume.
I know, right? It's so valuable, especially
Yeah.
for roles like this where details are so crucial.
Absolutely. Let's talk about another important thing about being a legal administrative assistant dealing with sensitive information.
Okay, sure.
So we're talking about discretion, being careful with confidential information as a legal administrative assistant.
Yeah, it's a really important part of the job. And it goes beyond just locking up files. It's about knowing the rules, ethical and legal, around sensitive information.
Exactly. What happens if someone who doesn't work at the firm asks you for confidential client information? How would you handle that?
Alarm bells. That's the first thing. Never promise anything or give information without following procedure. This is where knowing your firm's policies and the law is crucial.
It's not your call to make, right?
Right. You'd want to say something like, I understand that keeping client information confidential is really important. I need to check with my supervisor or follow our firm's process for this kind of request.
So you're showing you know the limits,
Yeah.
and you're not afraid to ask for help when you need it. Okay, let's talk tech. It's a huge part of a legal administrative assistant's work, right?
Absolutely. Huge. Managing calendars, organizing case files, it's all about efficiency, and tech is key.
So what do you say when they ask, what legal software are you familiar with? Especially if you haven't actually used those specific programs before.
Be honest. Don't try to fake it.
Yeah.
If you've used similar programs, mention those and focus on your transferable skills. Like, even though I haven't used that exact software, I'm good with name-similar software, and I can learn new programs quickly.
It's about being adaptable, eager to learn. RoleCatcher's skills feature is great for that.
Oh yeah, such a good tool. You put in your skills and it finds any gaps, but also suggests courses or certifications that could boost your resume.
It's like a personal skills checkup plus a plan.
I know. Helps you pinpoint where you can grow professionally.
Okay, last question, and it's a biggie. Why should we hire you for this legal administrative assistant position? How do you sum up everything awesome about you and really leave an impression?
Think of it as your closing argument. It's the time to drive home your strengths, your passion for this work, and why you're perfect for this team.
So more than just saying what's on your resume, you're tying it all together for them.
Right. Bring up those specific skills and experiences we've talked about, the ones that match what they need, and let them see your enthusiasm.
Like saying, I want to be a valuable part of your team.
Yes. And confidence is key. Believe in yourself, show them what you've got, and you'll nail that interview.
Preparation is key. Practice your answers, do your research on the firm, and use those resources like RoleCatcher. You got this.
And that wraps up our deep dive on preparing for your legal administrative assistant interview. We hope you feel ready to go in there and shine.
Go make a great impression.